Hi there, my name's Adam Troop, and today I'm going to take a look at a piece of software called Time-Lapse Tool. It's basically a piece of software dedicated to compiling time-lapse films from series of still images. So, as you can see here, I've not actually paid for it yet. I'm on the fence on whether or not to do so, and I'll explain my reasons why. I'll just give you a run through of the software. So, for the time being, we're going to go down and evaluate it. There are some limitations to this evaluation copy, which I'll explain as we come to them, and why, I would prefer if they were done a bit differently. So anyway, here we go. So want to create a new project, and then you select the folder that your time lapses are in, and I've got some different time lapses here, and you can see each of them. It's just representing the sequence of images as a single clickable file, and it's telling you how many frames. There's 251 frames there. So we'll go with this last one, and 246 frames. Okay, and you can see the resolution also that they were shot, and it was on a 12 megapixel A7S II. So we're going to go down to the bottom right hand corner and import as sequence, and here we go. So we can skip through here. You can play it and preview it, which it's pretty choppy, but gives you an idea of what to expect. It is showing it in quite high resolution, so it looks good, and you can see if it's working. So you've got a load of different options down here. You can make it black and white, change the brightness. What's camera transition? It's like a sort of, let's see if we can preview this. It's doing something that's not that obvious. Is this a zoom out? I think this is a zoom out. Let's put it here, and yeah, you can see it's like zooming out at the same time. So it's quite cool. There's lots of ways you can very quickly add a little bit of animation just literally with a click, which is really nice. I like that. And let's see, we've also got zoom and move, and watermark, vignette, and all sorts of things. Obviously, I'm adding all this stuff and I don't actually want it. So I'm just going to unclick all the things I've clicked. So basically, say we just want to export it. We've got a long bunch of JPEGs. We want to just compile it quickly into a time-lapse video. So basically, we're ready to do that. We've imported it with one click, and with one click, we're going to export it. Obviously, it gives us a chance to check our settings, and here, this is the limitation of the evaluation software, which is very disappointing. The highest resolution you can export in is 480p with the evaluation copy, which is disappointing because I would really like to see just what does the quality look like when exporting them in these high resolutions versus doing the same thing, but obviously it's a longer process, but the same thing in Adobe Premiere, which is basically, I do have Premiere, and I'll show you a couple of the key differences, but one of the best things about this is the simplicity of it. It's so quick to bash together a time lapse with minimal effort, and also, as I showed you, adding in some animations, little zooms and pans and things. But one of the nice things here is you can actually export it as higher than 4K, which you can do it without cropping. So if I come back here, I'll explain what I mean without cropping. Come down to the project and see this box here that's checked crop. That's giving us a 16:9 ratio. But if I uncheck that and come back, we're seeing black bars on the left and right because it's not widescreen. That is the still as it was taken. So if we crop, which I'm just going to go back into the project settings, click crop. So I'm going to click export, and we'll just do this as one of the tests, rename it. And it really doesn't take too long to export a video, although I should note that this isn't exporting a 4K video or even a 1080p video. It's purely just a 480p video. So whether or not it's, a lot faster doing that, I don't know. Obviously, I can't evaluate that, but the piece of I guess, advice I was going to give to the time-lapse tool was it would be preferable to allow those high-resolution export options in the evaluation copy, but just watermark it, so obviously people aren't going to use it. Well, you know, it would look rubbish if they did. So there we go, success. And there we go, done. So you can see it does offer a very quick and easy solution to compile time-lapse videos, and that's really what it's got going for it, quick and easy to use. I've opened up the same time-lapse sequence in Adobe Premiere, or Premiere if you want to call it that, and you can see I've got two sequences open. This one I've basically just highlighted all the still images and dropped them into a new sequence, so you can see the frame size of the sequence is the full frame that we're getting. But the benefit with Adobe Premiere is when we create that, we create a 4K sequence and then nest this sequence inside it, and we get this. So now we've cropped it essentially into the 16:9, but this is where we get some additional control. We can now go into the position, and you can see I was at the bottom there, and if I drag it down, we can frame it at the top where it was. So you've got a lot of leeway in how you can frame it, which is really cool. That's the extra bonus with Adobe, it would appear. What I was saying, you know, it's not like I would not use Premiere. My attraction to this software is quickly compiling time-lapse videos. And it would basically take a fraction of the time to create, say, 5 individual time-lapse videos than it would to do it in Premiere. What I would do is export them at that higher than 4K resolution, bring them into my sequence, and then basically nest them like this and reposition them as wanted. So the price of the time-lapse tool is, for me, for the professional version, which gives you the 4K and everything, it's £120, which I would imagine it's similar in dollars. And yeah, it's a nice piece of software, but it's quite a lot for something essentially I can do in Adobe Premiere. It's merely a little bit of time saving, and it's not a massive amount of time saving. If it was a massive amount of time saving, then yes, absolutely. But it's only a little bit of time saving. So £120 for a little bit of time saving, that's where I'm kind of on the fence. I'm like, Anyway, I hope that was useful, and it gives you a better idea of what this software can do and whether it's right for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again with a new video soon.